Tony, looking back at the Castleford game first half performance, almost faultless, 38-0 up by half-time, game over, very good performances across the whole field. Second half, a bit more scrappy. Do you think the scoreline made that happen?
Somewhat, possibly. I think the coach did too. He changed things around a bit and, making sure that, everything was... taken care of by that stage, and and maybe gave some people a rest that needed a rest, etc., etc. So, I won't put it all on the players, but I certainly thought there was maybe even some other influences that was trying to even that game up to some degree as well, and went looking for levellers, and But we're going to be able to cope with all that as well. And I thought the boys did a pretty good job, overall. We didn't get too sloppy defensively, and that was the good thing. We had I think 2 breaks against us. One resulted in a try, and the other one, that we shut down. So, overall our defence was very good, regardless of how much ball, and we didn't make that many errors. What we did do is concede, some penalties. Some of that was down to our own, in our own control. I would argue that some of it wasn't. So we're going to be able to, make sure that we can control what we can control, and the rest will take care of itself.
You've got some thoughts about the officials then?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to make too many complaints, because I thought the ruck speed was, the quickest and the best, or the cleanest, I've seen for a while, and it was totally different to, some other games we've played in, and it allows, some rugby league to be played and some rugby league to be, to be attractive, and I think, that's important. I don't think it was overly quick or too quick, but it wasn't ridiculously slow either, and there's some games that we've played in this year that it's just been incredibly slow, and it doesn't make for a great and attractive rugby league. And but that's just my opinion. I certainly think when you get the right levels of speed of the ruck, attractive rugby league can be played and good defence can be played. But it's finding that right level. So we gave some penalties away that we probably could have taken care of, but there was probably a couple that were, not so much about the ones that we give away, it's the ones that we don't get sometimes that, is probably the biggest bugbear. The ones that aren't given, it can be frustrating, but we're going to put up with that.
Now we saw Lee Breers hobble off. How is he?
Yeah, he's fine. He trained today and yesterday. He had a bit of an ankle tweak, and he's okay. I think he was let me know it's time to come off and have a rest and sit in the shade. It was quite warm there the other day, so which was going to happen anyway. So he did a good job for us, and he has been each and every week. He's been pretty consistent in his performances, Lee, and he deserved to get an early shower.
Well, he's probably seen a young man playing alongside him at the weekend who's waiting for a long run in the team, in Gareth O'Brien. I've had a chat with him today, and the way he's been playing, the chances he's had, he obviously looks a good one for the future.
Yeah, he's a good one for the present. He's doing a good job. He's in there with a couple of experienced heads that are doing a good job of getting us around the field, and he's complementing them well, and he's a steady, level-headed kid, as you would have picked up in his interviews today. He's nothing too much phases him. He's articulate, and he's like that on the field. He's unfazed, and he just goes through and does his job. I think there's more to come from Gaz on the field. I think he's a terrific young player, and I think once he gets past some of his injury, I think is still in the back of his mind, and he hasn't quite passed some of that, because I think he's got more to offer while still doing a good job at the moment. So, I think you'll see more of Gaz in the next little while, and he'll come out and show and express himself a little more than he already has, but he's doing a fine job for us.
Now, we've already touched upon Lee, and he's going to be fit and healthy. What's the state of the rest of the camp? I mean, Adrian didn't play at the weekend. Is he going to be okay?
Oh, he's okay. He's not far off. He could have played last weekend, and he may or may not play this weekend. He's got a little bit of neck stiffness, and I don't know whether to get people to play when they're not quite 100%. However, Mozza can play when he's at probably 50%, and he'd still go out there and give his best. But whether it's right for him, and we're in a bit of a position at the moment where the young guys who are in those sort of positions are doing a fine job too. And so whether to take some risk on or push people through some of those injuries, I'm not sure. We'll consider Moz later in the week and fitness test him, and if he's right, well, we'll put him in. If he's not, well, we'll give him another week. We've got Gus Carvell back from suspension, and he's fit and available to us if we decide to pick him. And we've also we're not sure about Monaghan yet, whether Michael is going to be right for this week or possibly. If it's not this week, it's definitely against Salford unless he has a setback between now and then. But we'll assess him as the week goes on and assess whether it's the right thing to risk him for the weekend.
What is your main priority? You've got the Challenge Cup coming up. I mean, will you rest players for a big Challenge Cup game against Bradford with one eye on the rest of the season in the league?
Absolutely not. No way. The Challenge Cup is important to us, and as is Super League. But there's nobody who needs a rest at the moment. They're all fine. We're fit and healthy, and we're trying to find some form and in a good position to do that. I hear a lot of coaches talk about a number of players that got out injured at the moment. We've been like that all year. We've had some big name players on the benches since before the season started, and we've coped all right. Whilst we haven't been sensational in some, and we've had a couple of flat games, one against Catalan, and the first half against Saints we weren't out of the blocks there. But we come home pretty strong and not far off by the end of that game. That's without some of our key players, and we're doing all right. We haven't made too much of a fuss about it. We've been out there, and whilst we haven't probably shown our first, our top grade game just yet, although we're getting closer to it now, we haven't been too far off that happening, and we haven't been too far off a performance like Cass coming along either, and Cass was pretty solid. So we'd like to build on that, but we're up against a really good, a really good opponent this week. They've travelled well. They're not so their record isn't as good at home as it is on the road. So we need to turn up on Saturday and do a good job against a team that probably struggled early in the season and found some form and some consistency. Even in their defeats, they've been tough, and they've been a tough team to beat, and we experienced that ourselves earlier in the season. With
all the off-field problems financially for Bradford, it's a very big game for them because the Challenge Cup brings big financial rewards if you get to the final.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the players will be thinking about that. I'm sure the club administrators will be. They'll be wanting a good cup run for their sake, but I think the players just go out there and do their best, and I think when some of those off-field things are affecting the club, that it galvanises a team quite often, and they just pull together and try to take care of what they can take care of. And I think I keep hearing Mick Potter talk about that, along with Freddie Cummins, about controlling what they can control, and that's their performances on the field, and they've been pretty good at that. They've found a formula that they're good at in terms of the way they play, and they are good at what they do, and we need to make sure that we're good at what we do and execute well and all those sort of things if we're to take care of them this Saturday.
Now, one player we've not seen this season yet, David Solomona. How's he coming along?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, good actually. He's getting close. He's actually seen some light. There's a little glow of light at the end of that long tunnel that it's been for him, and he's kept his spirits all the way through it. He's been terrific for us off the field. He really has. He's been inspirational in many ways, in the way that he's remained upbeat and encouraged other people and worked hard himself. So yeah, we're all getting excited. For Dave. He's probably I'd say, end of May, he'll be pretty close to playing rugby league again, which at one stage, seemed like a long way off, and probably would have seemed that way for Dave back then. But he's certainly, getting close now. So excited for him.
It'll be like having a new member of the squad coming back.
Yeah, he will be. He's enjoying supporting us, but I think he's found it tough. Like all players do, to sit on the sidelines, and he's hopeful that we go well in the Challenge Cup as well. He wants to participate in it again. He loves it, and which is good. And we'd like to do well so we can compete in it. But he's a big personality. But he's a big. He's been a big. We've missed him a lot. In the way that he plays as well. He's a big contributor, and he's having his impact off the bench that we've had over the years. And I think it's a bit underestimated how much it does affect us. And he's certainly one of those, inspirational players, but inspirational in what he can do on the field. He can do some things that no other player in rugby league world can do. And do you miss that? Of course you do.
Right, okay, Tony, as always, thank you for your time and good luck in the Challenge Cup.
Thanks, mate.